guys, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me. First and foremost, I want to wish each of you good health and safety. And hey, let's follow those guidelines because I don't know about anyone else, but I'm all done with this pandemic. I want to get my life back. I miss my friends and my family, and follow the guidelines that are being put out there to us because we need to get this planet healthy again so that we can continue on and live our lives. My friend Julia from the Mug Life DIY and Casey from Coffee with My Sunshine are hosting an open invite, and it is called Using Trash to Create Treasure. The requirements for this collab are that you find some type of trash or recyclables or something that you have around your home and you transform it into something functional and useful, or that you create some home decor. Make sure you check out Julia, the Mug Life DIY, and Casey, Coffee with My Sunshine, along with the playlist. I'm going to link them all below in my description. If you haven't yet subscribed and you think you'd like to come back and hang out with me again, don't forget to click that little red subscribe button below along with the notification bell, and that will notify you every time I upload a new video. I'm starting the project by using this block of wood. It was actually the foot off an old love seat. I'm using a dowel that I found in a scrap pile, but if you don't have one on hand, you can always use a tree branch, and these will be used for the stems. I'm also using this little wooden disc that I found in the same scrap pile. I'm using a handful of extra large craft sticks that I had left over from a previous project. I'm using a couple of pieces of leftover scrapbooking paper. I saved these 2 leaves off of one of the old LED light stakes that I had. And I'm using some of the white, yellow, and green craft paint. You'll also need some Mod Podge. I'm using some old binding that a friend gave me many years ago and some leftover white ribbon. And to finish up, you'll need some type of greenery or filler. I'm starting this project by placing Mod Podge on one side of the craft stick. I then placed it down on the back side of the scrapbooking paper. I made sure it was attached, and then using my scissors, I cut away a piece of the scrapbooking paper, making sure I left approximately an inch on each end and on each side. I cut a few slices into the paper on the rounded ends. Place the Mod Podge on the stick and then fold the little pieces over the end. Make sure to press them down so you have a nice rounded corner. Once one side is done, do the exact same thing to the other. If your sides end up being a little long, just trim them off with your scissors. To close up the back, all you need to do is add a little Mod Podge and then fold the sides over onto each other. I covered 6 craft sticks, 3 in the purple plaid and 3 in the polka dot. If you don't have scrapbooking paper on hand, you can always use some wrapping paper or sheet music, or maybe even some of your kids' artwork. When you're done, you'll have 3 of each pattern. Once my sticks were dry, I measured them and then cut them in half. Once all your pieces are cut, it's then time to assemble the flower. I decided how I wanted my flower laid out and then placed the pieces slightly over each other. Once my first 6 were in place, I used my glue gun and attached the corners. Now with the bottom part of the flower complete, it's time to add the top petals. After I put the plaid pieces in place, I then glued the top to the bottom. With the flower complete, it's now time to make the center. I found this little wooden disc in a pile of wood scraps, so I decided to paint it yellow and use it as the center. Once the paint has dried, I'm using the tiny end of a paintbrush and my white paint to add some little dots to the center. Once the white dots are dry, it's now time to hot glue it to the center of our flower. Now that the flower is complete, I'm going to paint the base white. I'm going to set that aside and let it dry, and now I'm going to paint the dowel green, and that will become our stem. Now with both pieces dry, I'm attaching the stem to the flower pot by using my glue gun. I'm going to add a little ribbon and bow accent to the base of the flower pot. I wrap the ribbon around to get the correct measurement. I attached a piece of purple ribbon to the white ribbon. I then wrapped it around the base and secured it with some hot glue. I folded the two ends over and attached them to the front. To make the bow, I'm following the same instructions. I'm just using two shorter pieces of ribbon. I'm folding the ribbon in half to find my center point, and then I'm gluing each piece into the middle. I'm then tying two pieces of shorter ribbon around the center to make the bow. With the bow complete, I'm simply hot gluing it to the front of the flower pot. I'm now hot gluing the flower to the stem. To finish up the project, I'm attaching both of my leaves. I cut a circle out of the matching scrapbooking paper and then hot glued it over the stem on the back. I added some of the green filler around the base of the flower to complete our project. I love how this project came out, and there's nothing better than seeing a beautiful flower come out of some items that more than likely would have ended up in the landfill. For the black and white flower, I'm using another wood block support. I'm also using 6 of the extra large wooden craft sticks. This time I'm using a stick as the stem, another little scrap circle of wood, 3 paint colors, white, gray, and black. I'm also using 2 more of the plastic leaves and some vintage white ribbon along with some black and white polka dot. I'm starting this project by painting the wooden block white. I'm then painting 3 of the craft sticks white and 3 of the craft sticks black. Once the craft sticks are painted, I'm then using my gray paint to paint the stem, the wooden circle, and the leaves. I used the back of a paintbrush and my black and white paint to put some dots on the wooden center. While the pieces are drying, let's assemble the ribbons. I cut my 2 larger ribbons at 12 inches and my 2 smaller ribbons at 8 inches. I made these ribbons in the exact same way as the first flower. I'm hot gluing the polka dot ribbon to the white ribbon. Once again, making the bow, folding it in half to find my center, then folding each tab into the middle, then tying 2 pieces of ribbon over the front. I have my 3 white and my 3 black craft sticks. I'm going to measure them and then cut them in half. I can't see the mark on the black paint, so I used my white stick to measure and then cut them. Once they're all cut, I'm once again going to position them in the shape of a flower. Once all the black pieces are glued together, I then glue on the white. Now that the flower is complete, I'm hot gluing the gray disc into the center. I'm adding the ribbon and the bow to the base. I secure the 2 ends on the front. Once the ribbons attach, I then attach the bow with some hot glue. I'm securing the stem to the base with some hot glue. I'm securing the flower to the stem using a good amount of hot glue. I added on the leaves and the filling and completed my project. There's nothing better than seeing 2 beautiful flowers made out of items that probably would have ended up in the landfill. I hope you had fun making these projects with me, and if you haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to click that little red subscribe button below. Be safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody!